Boys and girls, this is the Undisputed Era. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly.
Hello, Steve. Hello, Larson. It's me, Dexter Lumis, NXT Superstar. So here's my shout out to the Going In Raw podcast. Clever name.
Hey, Friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you'll be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson. Available at wherever podcasts can be found. And, of course, taped live at Twitch, twitch.tv/Steve and Larson. Man, we're award winners now, man. Did you hear about this? Tiger Driver 9X. Their Texies Awards is best podcast. And according to them,
that's awesome.
We drove like a third of their total votes. So
that's cool.
Yay for us. We're awesome.
Thank
Good
you
for us.
To all the friendos who went over there and voted.
Oh yeah, for sure. And follow them. They're great. I've actually listened to. I didn't know a whole lot about them before all this, and I listened because we're on such. We're so up here, man. It's hard to pay attention to everybody below us. I'm totally joking. It's very cool, and we seem to have a lot of the same tastes. A lot of the other content creator like Deadlock. We're both big fans of those dudes over at Deadlock. Glad we won that best podcast award though, because that would have been humiliating. And then, hey, guess what? Practically a member of the Going In Raw family, Brian Zane, won best content creator.
That's awesome.
We almost won that too. We came in second, but I'm really glad he did because he's the best. But huge thanks to Tiger Driver 9X.
Yes,
go check out their website, their Instagram. Yes. They've got some really cool merchandise, man. The design aesthetic that these guys use is really terrific.
Top notch stuff.
Top notch is Going In Raw best podcast. Believe that.
Well, thank you to Tiger Driver. It's we appreciate the honor.
Absolutely, but we totally deserve it because we're the best. So, you know who's not the best? Karrion Kross. Blech. New Year's Evil, though, was actually a really fun show.
It was a really fun show, and I actually thought that his match against Damian Priest was his best effort to date in NXT.
It's not really saying a whole lot, though. It's like me going out and playing an NBA game.
Well, here's the thing.
And not breaking my ankles within the first 2 minutes.
I'm not trying to... I'm relatively agnostic when it comes to Karrion Kross. Yeah. I see potential in him. At the same time, I admit, maybe he's not a complete package quite yet. I understand that. We don't know what that match with Keith Lee could have been because he hurt his shoulder so early into it.
But now we have a good idea.
This was a good 20-minute. This was a good lengthy match, 20 minutes or so. And was it perfect? No. Was his best effort to date by far. Granted, Damian Priest is a hell of a wrestler, but I thought Kross, when he had to show what he was selling, I thought he was fine. Here's the thing, I think last time you criticized Karrion Kross, you mentioned his footwork, so I really paid attention to that, and. He's very explosive when he does power moves.
Yeah.
When he does a Saito suplex, explosive. He does not have an explosive first step, and or his footwork is not fast. It isn't.
Right.
Yeah. So
coordinated.
Well, that could be because he's trying to make up for the fact that his feet don't move as quickly as maybe he would like them to.
Yeah.
And I think that's a lot of thing. And I think if he could adjust his style a bit to minimize that, you wouldn't notice it quite as much.
I think that he would be great on main roster because you can hide that stuff.
You could. You don't have
roster.
to wrestle the NXT style of match on the main roster. Obviously, you could do a more deliberate
good
pace.
style of wrestling.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. There's a certain pace to NXT matches, which yes, I enjoy for the most part. But you can work a slower pace if you tell a good story. Look at Randy Orton. He does not work a fast pace.
Right.
But with the right story, with the right opponent, he can put on really good matches.
Yeah, because he's really that dude.
He's really fundamentally sound. That's the thing.
He's really fundamentally sound. And being in the business for 20 years, he can put together a compelling story in the ring better than anybody. I mean, he really can when he really wants to. I mean, look at the greatest match ever. I mean, it was probably the best actual wrestling match in WWE of the year last year. It's just, God, man, I don't know. He'd be fine on main roster. My thing is like Damian Priest. So New Year's Eve. We'll just go through the show beat by beat and talk about, because this was honestly the low point for me. Everything else I thought was fine. Whenever NXT, we'll just start here real quick. Whenever NXT has one of their themed episodes, they knock it out of the park.
Yeah, they treat it as a takeover essentially.
They really do. It's funny. It's like a weird combo of like, I'm not going to say I prefer them because the takeover wrestling is just stellar, as it usually is in these themed episodes. But they always just have the creative juices really, really flowing with their themed episodes. Halloween Havoc was a blast. I thought New Year's Evil was an absolute blast. And they always just sort of bring it a little bit more than they do on their regular weekly episodes. And not just with the wrestling, with everything in between as well. There's just a spirit of more fun when they do a themed episode. So I think that totally permeated the episode. And I am glad that we got a good 20-minute look at Karrion Kross, because clearly he's going to be NXT champion. I'm not enthusiastic about that. I think that Damian Priest has all the charisma, has the look. Actually, I think his look is even more compelling than Karrion Kross's. And on top of that, he's got the wrestling stuff, which you need really to be NXT. Like if NXT's thing is wrestling and they try to add the other stuff that we all love about pro wrestling, the goofiness and the stories and stuff like that, Damian Priest is made to be NXT champion because he embodies everything about that. Karrion Kross is Glacier. And I don't even know, Glacier had better footwork than this guy. I saw 20 minutes of him, and it's just unimpressive and clunky. And that's it. And could he learn? Sure. I mean, I don't know if I want to wait around 20 years till he develops like the ability to tell a compelling in-ring story. Damian Priest had to slow down a step and a half. Like, that's one thing that we both talked about since Damian Priest entered the North American title scene.
His in-ring work has gotten really, really crisp.
It's gotten really crisp and a faster paced, and it's so much fun. He's so creative. And what did we see last night? He had to dial everything about him back to accommodate Karrion Kross. And that's the bummer about Karrion Kross, because Damian Priest and Keith Lee, and I absolutely agree, we have no idea what that match was going to be. But with Damian Priest, we got the match. And you see little things like Damian Priest hits a flatliner and Karrion Kross can barely even sell that because he puts like his knees down to brace him. And it's just, it doesn't look crisp. It doesn't look clean. It looks like he's just trying to not get hurt, which in wrestling, you're supposed to cover that up really, really well. And he doesn't.
It's muscle memory, and that comes with repetition. Where, you know, when you take a bump, you don't think about taking a bump and tucking your chin while you're taking the bump. You just practice it enough that it's second nature to you.
Yeah,
you know?
right.
That's why they have you in the ring take bumps all the time while tucking your chin. So by the time you're in the ring and you do that on a regular basis, you don't think about it. You just do it.
Yeah.
And, you know, I looked on Karrion Kross's Wikipedia. It said he's made his professional debut in 2010. However, there's nothing listed as far as where he's been before 2015.
Sure. Yeah.
And if memory serves, when he was at Impact, he didn't actually wrestle a ton, right? He was more. He was
like a heater for the Moose guys. Moose. And who was their main?
It was Austin Aries, wasn't it?
Oh, it was Austin Aries. Yeah. Thanks.
Austin Aries. You know, he showed up sporadically in AAA. I guess he was in MLW for a bit, Lucha Underground, of course. I just don't know if he's gotten the consistent reps like obviously Damian Priest has, who's been wrestling since the mid-aughts, you know?
Yeah.
Who was in Ring of Honor wrestling probably 3-4 days a week.
Yeah.
I don't know if Kross has had those amount of reps that basically everybody else who's has experience at NXT definitely has working the indies.
Yeah.
Just don't know if that's the case.
Yeah, he probably doesn't. I can probably guarantee he doesn't. You're absolutely right. Which is why he should not be in the position he's in, because you like that's almost a prereq. You know, if you don't have access to the performance center to train and do all this stuff, which I don't know the status on that now, but I know obviously in the era of COVID, you know, that was dialed back quite a bit. You simply don't put him in this situation because he's not putting on good matches. I don't know how much of a draw he is going to end up being, or he is now. So I don't know if you put him out there just for ratings purposes. I don't know why they're doing this. I really don't. Like, it's because he's got a great look. Scarlett looks like $1 million. But I don't know. His look
is great.
His look isn't
great, yeah.
His look isn't better than Damian Priest. Damian Priest is taller. He's got him. You know, he looks amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Kross looks good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. I was not impressed. I thought this was below. This was Damian Priest having to compromise the kind of match he can give us.
I thought
accommodate Karrion Kross.
That could be the case, but I thought once the match got to the second half, it felt like Kross felt more comfortable. Once Kross had to sell, I felt like he kind of got his feet under him, and the match went better. The first, I don't know, half of it, yeah, there was bits that were a little clunky, but you know, when they were working outside, essentially when Karrion Kross, I felt like didn't have to move quickly. It was a lot better.
Yeah,
you know, and again, you know, that's if it's possible for him to adjust his style, maybe once he gets to the main roster, he can, where he can work a more methodical pace like Randy Orton does, get some more experience under his belt, so the fundamentals are stronger. Match quality will improve.
Mm-hmm. Night by Night says this is a situation where I'd really like to hear Cal Jack's opinion on him. I have talked to Cal Jack, and I'll let Cal Jack speak for himself. If he's listening to this, maybe he'll tweet something out, or maybe at some point we'll bring Cal back onto the show. I don't know what he's doing out there in Vegas. Last I heard, he was already divorced 3 times, and he had gambled away his entire life savings. So we need to do something
Vegas,
about
man.
that. No, man, I'm looking forward to the indie scene coming back alive, because Cal Jack is going to be huge. I guarantee it.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't know. You know, it is what it is. I don't see it. I don't even see really a whole ton of potential there. But I guess
this is what, his second real match.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even the match against Dijak for the most part was a squash match. It's the second real match. You know, as I mentioned earlier, he didn't have a whole lot of time to train in the PC when he signed. He got hurt. Who knows how much training time he's had since. You know, there's potential there. You know, I'm in a wait and see approach.
Yeah, I've waited.
You know, because they have some great instructors at the Performance Center. They have guys they bring in who have basically no wrestling experience, stepping foot in there, and they have developed them into some pretty decent wrestlers. So let's wait and see. You know, he's been there less than about a year.
Has it been a year? Well, yeah. I mean, look, dude. Obviously, there's been, you know, he's been on a very limited. He's had. I mean, this is what, maybe his 8th match or so.
Yeah.
I get all that. I totally get all that. I'm just saying, like, I'm not into it. And
that's fine. Totally fine.
Yeah, I know. And if at some point, maybe he'll put it together, or maybe he'll just go to main roster. I don't have to think about it anymore. Anyways, yeah, it was what it was. So that's out of the way. Dusty Classic was announced after this particular match. Kross ended up winning with the Saito Doomsday thing, and then a forearm to the back of the head.
I like that they ditched the Kross jacket as a finish, and he's just going to essentially hit hidden blades to people in the back of the head.
Yeah, I think
it's a step in the right direction. It's a more aggressive finish. I feel like
it's an effective looking finishing move. I'll agree with that.
Yeah, he delivered it pretty well.
And if he yells "time's up" right beforehand every time, there's an added element of cool, I guess. Although I did appreciate Damian Priest, you know, after because he was working over Priest's ribs through this whole thing, based off the attacks for the past couple weeks, and he had a really nasty powerbomb on Priest, which
folded him in half,
which looked, scary. Yeah, I don't know. I sit there and I just say, okay, you know, this is basically virtually the same powerbomb we saw at Wrestle Kingdom. Who was it? Who got folded up in half like a really nasty power? Maybe it was the Okada Ospreay match. Maybe it was, I forget.
Yeah.
Was
Ospreay
it? Okay.
Hit a pretty nasty powerbomb on Okada.
It looked like that, and I'm thinking to myself, was this like a dangerous power bomb, or was this just looked really good? Either way, it was effective, and I'm not a wrestler. I'm going to take myself out of that. I'm just going to assume everybody's a professional. But yeah, that looked really nasty. And then so he has Priest, sort of wobbly, and Priest just says, "I'm still standing, bitch." And then Kross gives him the sight to the Doomsday and a forearm to the back of the head for 3.
Yeah. At least his finishing sequence looked really good. Let's talk about this while we're on the topic of Damian Priest. Of course, was it yesterday on News Brief? Is that the last time we did a News Brief? We talked about a WrestleVotes report that there was an NXT call-up plan for Friday's SmackDown. However, that was changed. You speculated Damian Priest, I believe Fightful Select yesterday said that Damian Priest was potentially in line for a call-up, though they didn't specify whether that was the call-up mentioned by WrestleVotes. Today, PW Insider is reporting that, quote, the current belief is that last night's New Year's Evil broadcast is planned to be the final NXT appearances for Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest, and they each will be shifted to the main roster. We'll get into more detail about Rhea Ripley's match against Raquel Gonzalez later. Fantastic bout, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Not surprising, especially the Rhea Raquel match. For a while, I've been kind of thinking that whoever lost that was on their way to main roster.
Yeah, so like that's great. That's awesome. At this point with call-ups, I'll sort of believe it when I see it. I don't doubt the information. We do know that, Chelsea Green and Vanessa Bourne existed in sort of a state of limbo. I think Dijak kind of did too before he went back to get killed by Karrion Kross and went back onto for Retribution. But there has been a thing where somebody will get called up and they'll exist in a weird state of limbo. I really hope that in this case, we're not going to see Rhea Ripley again in NXT. That match was amazing, by the way. Yeah.
Here's the thing, that the advantage that Rhea has over Priest in one respect. She has a built-in story with Charlotte out of the gate.
Yeah.
They can bring Rhea up. She can call out Charlotte, ready to go.
Sure.
Don't have to wait for that.
Absolutely.
If they don't do that, then obviously they're dropping the ball and have no plan for her. Priest, they have to just introduce him fresh. Maybe it's some vignettes, hyping up his debut. I don't know what it's going to be. There's going to be a bit more legwork to having some story, some creative built in for him, plus getting him familiar with WB fans who don't watch NXT. Whereas Rhea Ripley, that's already done.
With Priest, it's easy. You put him in a hoodie, a blazer, make him the third Knight of the Lone Wolf.
Gosh.
He'll flourish.
Sure he will.
Not talking, not even really enforcing anything. Maybe
kind of hanging around uncomfortably with a hoodie and a blazer on.
It's so sweaty in those things.
I know.
Oh man, no, I'm excited for Damian Priest. I mean, I don't know. Hopefully, he doesn't end up in the 24/7 scene. He's huge. He's a big dude.
He's a massive dude.
He's a really tall guy. Vince
6'7" or something like that.
Yeah.
He's pretty athletic for a dude his size. I mean, he did a step up tope.
What would you do with them day one, man? What would you do with them? If Larson has the book, what would you do with Damian Priest day one?
I would have him. Everybody's backstage offering him donuts.
Oh, God!
And he says,
"Damn,
thanks, but I probably should."
We're an award-winning podcast, Larson.
Like, come on, punishment. It's all right.
They call him punishment too.
Well, first person does accidentally, then he gets upset about it. Like, sorry, Damian, here, have an extra donut. I'm sorry.
We might have
some.
Some new listeners here. The backstory is at Starrcade a couple of years ago. Starrcast.
Yes.
Starrcast.
Starrcade was the WCW pay-per-view.
At Starrcast a couple of years ago, Punishment Martinez was sitting like sort of across and over to us, and we had brought donuts, and Larson went around asking some superstars, some wrestlers, if they wanted some donuts.
It was towards the other day. We on the way to the place where Starrcade was happening. We went by Dunkin's Donuts and bought a box of donuts.
No, you called
had them at our booth. What's that?
No, you called it Starrcade.
Oh, sorry, Starrcast. Put the thought in my head. Had them at our booth. A couple people took some. Yeah. They were out for anybody who wanted to take them. And then getting down the other day, we offered one to Joey Janela and Penelope Ford.
Yeah.
They accepted. So there was Damian Priest punishment.
Yeah.
Kind of sitting diagonally from us. I went him with a box of donuts. I was like, "Hey, do you want one?"
Did he dig in?
No, he goes, no thanks, I probably should," was his answer. I was like, all right, cool,
then,
no worries, man.
Moments later, he got the NXT contract. So the ultimate test presented to him.
And then I offered the donuts to the guys who were working security because they were on their feet all weekend.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I was like, "Hey, you guys want these donuts?" I mean, they're probably gonna go in the trash if you don't want them.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Nah, we're good." And I was like, "All right."
Joey Janela took one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looked like, based on how he was walking around, that was the day after All In. He definitely deserved one. That's his match against Hangman Page.
He worked hard for that
whatever it was.
Yeah.
Woo!
So the Dusty Classic was announced. Undisputed Era, Drake, Maverick, and Killian Dane, Breezango, grizzled young veterans,
Everrise,
Imperium, and Everrise. And I was sitting here because first they announced all these names, and I was like, wait a second. none of these teams are going to win this thing because we don't have a thrown together tag team yet, but we got one later on in the show. So,
Joaquin Wilde and I think Raul Mendoza are in it too.
Oh, okay, but again, they're not thrown together, and I'm not saying this tag team is necessarily thrown together, but they had not tagged before, and so thus I'm pretty sure they're going to end up winning this. But
wait, which one's that? Who's that?
You're going to have to find a way to find out later, Larson.
Oh. Yeah, they're not a thrown.
They're part of a faction, but they haven't teamed together yet.
No, I know, but they had a tag match a couple weeks ago.
Did they?
Yeah, they've tagged together before.
Well,
once, but they have before. They're not a thrown together team the same way that Pete Dunne, Matt Riddle are.
Yeah, no, sure.
That's truly a thrown together team.
Or our pick was because we thought it was going to be Ciampa and Thatcher, which I think still probably would have been the thing. And maybe it still will be, depending on how Thatcher's injury
not got hurt. Well, I mean, the tournament starts next week, so I'd be surprised. Yeah. So also later on, they announced that they're having they're going to do a women's Dusty Classic as well. So that's great.
That's cool. That's neat. When did they announce that during the episode? I just saw it on social media.
Yeah.
I must have fast forwarded during the commercial.
There's a short thing with Regal, and he announced it, and Lumis has a little picture.
Okay. I saw the picture. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah, it was pretty quick.
So
we didn't mention the show kicks off that Dexter Lumis was on the control desk pressing a bunch of buttons.
He was testing out the spotlights.
The lights, and next to him was this giant panel with a huge lever on it.
Which was also a time machine, yeah.
Maybe, yeah, apparently. Sprung him into the future, at least. Mm-hmm. With a little New Year's Evil logo sticker on it. So he pulls that down.
Primer box.
Yeah. So he pulls that lever down in close-up, and the camera pulls out, and he's got his tuxedo on instead of his usual stuff.
Looked like $1 million.
Yeah.
Do you wish this was the first moment he talked? I feel like at some point he has to talk. No talking's good. Okay.
No talking.
You can just point at stuff. Okay,
sure.
So after the announcement of the Dusty Classic, we had an interview with Undisputed Era. The team of Adam Cole, Bebe, and Roderick Strong. They are on permanent senioritis. They are asked next week. You've got Breezango. And Adam Cole's basically said, yeah, remember that prophecy thing we used to talk about? Still going to happen. New prophecy, undisputed prophecy is going to be Dusty Classic. Roderick Strong talking about Breezango says, hey, they're very entertaining, but they also get the job done in the ring. And Cole says, yeah, Roddy, but they're not undisputed. We're on another level. We're undisputed. And tonight, Kyle's going to be undisputed champion. So there you go.
There you go.
After that, we had a really fun match with Gran Metalik taking on Santos Escobar for that cruiserweight title.
Fun match. It's a fun match.
Really fun match. Really unlocked what Gran Metalik can do with those crazy ropes of his, all those crazy moves. There was a slight botch on a Rana attempt from the top rope, but they quickly transitioned that into Santos slamming Metalik into the barricade. But otherwise, that's one small spot in an otherwise really, really fantastic, fun match.
Well, I thought Santos salvaged that bit pretty well.
Sure, yeah. No, they recovered really well.
It could have been bad because he caught the Ron on the apron and kind of slipped as he was catching him and lost his balance. But he still held on to him. Instead of what I would guess would probably be like a power bomb on the apron.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
He just held on to him and just flung him to the barricade. Yeah. So,
but there were several moments when Gran Metalik just showcased just how smooth he is on the ropes. It's really terrific stuff. That dude should actually be in NXT. How great would it be if he joined? It'd be cool. You always need one top guy, one mid guy, and a tag team. Have Gran Metalik ditch Lucha House Party.
Well, I mean, right now Lucha House Party is just him and Lince Dorado.
You have him ditch Lince Dorado.
Oh man,
Lince
I like them together.
How about this? Lince and Kalisto reform a friendship. Gran Metalik. Telling you, man, Gran Metalik in NXT would be great.
I agree.
Put them in the Dusty Classic. Let's put them in the Dusty Classic.
Metalik and Lince?
Yeah, dude.
All right, I'm on board with that.
All right, let's write somebody.
Okay.
After that,
let's just book it on We Book NXT, and then we can try.
When are we gonna do that, man? We got to do that stuff again. Get your butt over here. Come on, man. Let's play next to each other and cough in each other's mouths at intermission.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the coughing each other's mouth part. Not cool, man.
I'll get a vaccine. over here. Will you let me just stick you with something?
You'll get a vaccine, but is it the vaccine?
It's something.
You gonna give me a rabies shot or something?
I'll give you. I got these rituals here. Toss this in you. You'll be fine. You take some biotin.
Oh, goodness. Anyways, you mentioned that Santos won with Legado, which is kind of like his new finish, and then you get the Phantom Driver for the win.
Yeah, dude. Good match.
Fun
Solid match.
Really fun match.
After that,
we had a Xia Li and Boa vignette.
Mm-hmm.
Xia Li making her re-debut later on. Mercedes Martinez had a video package promo type deal. Says it's good to be back. She doesn't care about the title of biggest badass. The only title she cares about is women's title. She says, I'm waiting for you, EO.
Yeah, dude. So EO got top best performer overall. That's cool. I didn't know that until I saw it on TV last night. So after that, we had Xia Li versus Katrina Cortez. Man, how about that entrance for Xia Li?
That was something else.
That was pretty great. So she's out there with Boa, who's like, I guess, like her heavy guy or whatever. And then she also has the unnamed master, the person sitting in the throne on the stage doing the performance review live in person as Xia Li beats the living crap out of Katrina Cortez. And I like this bit too. They incorporated all the pain resistance stuff from her training videos. When Katrina gets off one bit of offense, Xia Li just powers through it and screams at her. And then I thought it was a brand new Xia Li. Zia or Xia? Zia, right? I always ask that. Zia? I thought it was Xia. Xia Li. And then it's Zia Brookside. I always get confused. So, yeah, brand new offense, brand new everything. Just so much intensity now. A new kind of look. Looks like a total badass. I love this, man. I think this is great.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. After that, they rerun what they ran on social yesterday about the Fight Pit match being postponed.
Oh, sorry. Should have mentioned Xia Li won with like a jumping, spinning heel kick thing.
Yeah, because Timothy Thatcher was doing this in the trainer's room, and they ascertained that he was hurt doing this.
Does that?
Nope, you're hurt.
And then he storms out of here. Let's see if I'm
all right. Well, yeah, that hurts. I'm hurt.
So it kind of hurts my shoulders. I don't usually move in this direction. I usually limit my movement to just this right here.
Oh, you don't do shoulder presses at all? Oh, that kind of hurts my shoulder. This is the shoulder I jacked up.
Yeah, dude, gotta be careful with that. That's why you have to limit as much as you can. Don't move, really. Movement is bad for the body, Larson.
I'm sure it's not the case.
Probably not. After that, we had a clunky Bronson Reed interview. He was in the crowd. He's putting the whole place on notice, and it's going to be a colossal year for Bronson Reed. And he says, also, nobody asked me, but I've got my money on Rhea Ripley in this last woman standing match. I thought this was not Bronson Reed's finest moment. It's like they caught him right before he was about to have some popcorn and he got distracted.
Yeah, I know. It's like we need a interview real quick with the talent sitting ringside. Bronson. Bronson.
What?
A word, please.
Oh, I've got my popcorn here. What do you want?
We need you to drop a quick interview.
Oh, yeah. What's your question?
What kind of year is it going to be for you? Who you got in the last woman standing match?
Well, they call me Bronson Reed. I'm a colossal man. So this is going to be a colossal year.
All right. That's good.
Piss off, Ghost.
Maybe say something about putting everybody on notice, too. How about that?
They're all going to be on notice? my Australian accent, number one, is like a New Zealand accent. And it's terrible. And it's always on the verge of falling apart.
And yeah, what's the character's name from Thor Ragnarok? It's just that.
It's just Taika Waititi. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So next was Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Gonzalez. You know, in the last 3 days, we've had several match of the year candidates. Add this one to the list.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
damn good.
God, dude, like Wrestle Kingdom, this Kenny versus Phoenix. We're 7 days deep. I mean, within the first 6 days. Got like how many match of the year candidates?
4 or
this was
5.
So much fun. So they start off really strong style. Go to the outside. Rhea gets kendo stick. Raquel tries to handcuff Rhea to the fence mesh stuff. Rhea fends her off.
Chain link fence, yeah.
Chain link fence. Rhea handcuffs Raquel to the fence. Doesn't matter. She rips off fence. That was a great little bit. She rips the fence to free herself. At this point, Raquel at one point backdropped Rhea onto the corner of the table. That looked rough. Then buries Rhea under a bunch of flotsam there at commentary, gets back in, but they both, Rhea's able to beat the count there. They battle backstage. There's this bit where Rhea drives Raquel through a door and all this glass breaks everywhere. That was awesome. Rhea positions Raquel onto a table. She goes up on top of these lockers, which come into play in a little bit. But she comes flying off. She says, "Suck it," with the crotch chop. Sentons through the table. Puts her through the table. Dakota Kai comes out of nowhere, starts annihilating Rhea with the kendo stick. Rhea comes back, slams her head with the locker door, and then stuffs her into the locker. That was amazing.
That was great. Moves a road case in front of it. So at this point, Rhea climbs back on stage. Raquel's there. Dexter with the chair. Tries to take her eye out with the foot of the chair. Rhea blocks that, puts Raquel in reverse cloverleaf. And then she takes the chair and kind of wraps it around Raquel's throat and crank it back on that while she's still got the cloverleaf with one arm.
Yeah.
That was damn impressive.
That was cool.
So Raquel escapes that, boots Rhea into the lighting setup. Raquel charges her. Rhea dumps her into the LED board. And then Raquel responds by dumping Rhea face first into the ring steps and then power bombs her through the stage.
Yeah.
She is the first to emerge. Beats the rest 10 count.
The thing that was so great about that
Raquel wins.
Was that they did not telegraph the bit through the stage. Like it didn't, there was nothing obvious about it. I popped big for that because she did the thing and I was like, oh, that's gonna hurt right there on the stage, and they went through and I literally just said, oh shit. That was really, really cool. Yeah.
All the other stuff on the stage was on the opposite side of the stage was the one.
Yeah.
The opposite kind of corner of it.
It was really, really cool. Yeah, really fantastic match. Raquel Gonzalez
it was
wins.
Great.
And then
it was great.
I think they went to a bit of picture-in-picture commercial after that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because then they show the way with their police escort. They've got like a convertible. So they're like sitting, it's like a parade type thing, but it's at night. They got a police escort coming to the CWC. And meanwhile, you also see a Rhea Ripley, and she's, sort of being helped up by trainers and whatnot. So, yeah.
And if this was in front of, like a full sale, this would be her send off.
Hey, let me ask you something. You just mentioned if this was Full Sail, right? They'd be popping hard for this.
Yeah.
What would maybe I should reach out to like Karen or somebody who's actually at Full Sail, but what do you think Full Sail's reaction to Killer Kross would be? I don't think they'd give him the "You can't wrestle" chant, but I don't know how high they'd be on the guy.
I don't know either.
Kind of interesting to know or to think about that one. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
So the way show up, they have a promo. John Gargano says, "That's the way you may." There's all sorts of way puns in there. That's the way you make an entrance. Gargano starts talking about having reversed the curse. Candice is like saying, you did it. She said, he says, now I'm just cursed with being the best looking, best in the ring. He starts like swinging his hips around. It was pretty funny. Candice got him a plaque for breaking the curse. Of course, successfully defending his North American title was the curse. He starts setting up a joke that I think Austin Theory jumped in too quick on, because John starts talking about his beauty, and he couldn't have done it without his beauty, and you know how beautiful it is. And I think he was going to then swerve Candice and say, it's my North American title.
North American title, yeah, I got that vibe too.
Austin jumped in too quick, but he was pretty funny. He says, you're a real-life superhero. Me and Indy, we put together our money. We got you this. And it's like a cheesy drawing of the way, all as superheroes. Johnny loved that. And then he said, I found a way, Austin, to make this night way better. Me and you are entering the Dusty Tag Team Classic.
They do the no-look high-five thing.
They do the thing. You do the other. No,
I do this way.
You got to do it that way. Whatever. Anyways, so yeah, there's your thrown together tag team. They're totally gonna win that thing, by the way.
About totally, but maybe. Anyways, so Shotzi rolls in with her tank. Asks Candice, "Hey, do you forget about me?" Austin storms out, going on, "How dare you disrespect Candice?" And then Shotzi shoots a projectile right into Austin Theory's front area.
What was the reference he made, Mike?
I don't know. I heard that and I was like, I don't know what that's referring to.
I rewound it, and I heard the name is Mike Kowalski or something.
Something like that, yeah.
And I didn't know what that was. Maybe somebody in chat knows what. I have a suspicion as to what it is, but I don't want to say it in case I'm wrong because it's really out there. Anyways.
Really?
Well, I don't know. Let me see. Hold on.
Yeah, I feel like this thing a Google search could probably solve.
Okay, so did he say Mike Wazowski? Because that's the character from Monsters, Inc.
Oh, maybe then.
But I have no idea what that even, like, what the reference is, what the parallel is there.
Which monster was it from Monsters, Inc.?
I think it was the little one. I think it's not John Goodman, but Billy Crystal. Yeah, it's Billy Crystal.
Wasn't he green?
Oh, okay. There you go. Ha, that's funny. All right. That's really obscure.
That is pretty obscure.
Which I kind of appreciate out of Austin.
Yeah, I do
Theory.
too.
Yeah.
So Johnny says, hey, you're not going to ruin our night. Kushida shows up, sends Johnny off the apron. Then you hear a bell ring, and there's Lumis standing there. He points to Tron, and he's done some art. He's made a mixed tag match.
Oh,
Johnny
man,
and Candice.
You missed Austin getting hit in the nuts with the rocket.
No, I did mention it.
You did? Okay.
Yeah, and you interrupted me with that reference he made.
Well, I just want to get.
I was
things
literally
right,
just
man.
talking about Shotzi shooting him in the front area with a projectile.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
It was pretty great.
Hey, look, man, we can go over it again. It's funny. Guy gets hit in the nuts.
It wasn't the first nut shot Austin would take last night either.
Yeah, it's great.
So that match happened next. Finished down the stretch. There was some good stuff between Gargano and Kushida. I can't wait till they actually have a North American title match because that'd be really good.
Oh yeah.
So Kushida's about to charge Johnny in the corner. Candice runs in there to intercept. She's distracting Kushida, turns him around. Johnny tries to attack Kushida from behind. Kushida ducks it. Johnny almost punches Candice. Shotzi gets in the ring. Her and Kushida do a bunch of the similar moves, working Johnny and Candice's arm. Eventually sends them both out of the ring. Kushida hits a heel kick on Johnny, sends him to the floor. And Shotzi then hits a suicide dive on Candice. And then Kushida goes up the top rope. Theory pushes him off. The ref's giving Theory crap about it. Kushida then brings Theory into the ring. Drop toe holds Gargano into Theory's front area.
Mm-hmm.
And then rolls up Johnny to get the win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought that was good stuff.
That was good.
Then they announced TakeOver for Valentine's Day. That's coming up. Wade Barrett seemed excited about TakeOver. Not so excited about spending Valentine's Day with Vic.
With Vic Joseph, yes.
He seemed really into it.
Yeah. That's when Regal announced the Women's Dusty Classic. I don't know if that's happening at the same time as the men's or not. I don't know. They didn't give a time frame as to when that was going to happen. Just that it would happen. And then finally, our main event: Kyle O'Reilly versus Finn Balor for the NXT Championship.
Yeah.
I guess the story going into it and the commentary at the head of the match mentioned this a lot was that Finn was looking for a receipt for Kyle O'Reilly breaking his jaw.
We got an explainer from Wade. Yeah.
There's a term called receipt in the locker room.
So early on, Finn has O'Reilly in an abdominal stretch. He kind of rotates O'Reilly so he can't reach out to grab the rope or get his foot on it. So Kyle reaches out, puts his mouth on the rope to break it. And while he has his mouth on the rope, Finn kicks the rope. And they were saying that's the moment that Finn injured Kyle O'Reilly's jaw.
That was a great moment, too.
It was pretty good. And Kyle did a hell of a job selling it. So Finn hits a couple more boots on him. Trainer stops the match briefly to check on Kyle O'Reilly. Finn pulls him out of the corner and just goes right back to the action. And it was dueling bits where Kyle O'Reilly was trying to work over Finn's arms, both of them actually. And Finn realizing, there's a weak spot on Kyle O'Reilly, would always try to break it up by doing something to his head, chin, jaw area. A lot of cross faces. And even when he would do some of his standard moves, like he did the shotgun drop kick later, Wade made a point. Oh, look at that. Even with that, he clipped O'Reilly in the jaw.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And then I like how they use the liver kick in their storytelling. So towards the end, Kyle O'Reilly's charging towards Finn. Finn gets a boot up, kicks him right in the liver, and then locks in another abdominal stretch, hits some elbows to the liver too, and then he takes it to the mat, transitions his arms up for like a cross-face thing, and O'Reilly taps.
Yeah, he had him all.
By the end of the match, like Finn was like this. He couldn't lift his arms.
Yeah. I really like.
When the ref gave him the title, he's like, "No, I can't. Just put it in my hands. I can't raise my arms at all."
The post match stuff was great too, because Finn was just sort of standing there, sort of in disbelief at how much Kyle gave him, And yeah, well, it was just really, really terrific stuff. I'm not sure where you go from here with Kyle O'Reilly, but I really hope they try to keep making a thing out of him because he's absolutely terrific. He really is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want him to just be like a guy who, he's really great win for him, and next up he's going to eat shit from Karrion Kross. Put him on a different path, like him and, I don't know, Pete Dunne or something like that. I don't know.
I feel like they should really put Kyle O'Reilly in the North American title scene.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's he's had his kind of dalliance with the main event.
Mm-hmm.
Put him in the thing for the mid card title.
Mm-hmm.
Have him win that at some point, and then from there you can build to a return to the main event scene where it actually feels like he could probably win it.
You have seemingly all the time in the world because they're not seemingly going.
They're not going
anywhere.
anywhere.
Yeah.
They're not going anywhere.
Exactly.
Not going anywhere. Those of us watching on Twitch, it looks like there's some problems here, maybe on our end, on Twitch's end, but some stream issues. Our apologies.
All right, let's answer some questions. Hopefully people are in chat. I did actually put up a thread this morning, so
cool.
We do have questions, but hopefully they can ask some questions here.
Yeah.
James Fletcher says, having missed the AEW thread that's an AEW question. Well, he said he missed the thread though. He says, what's the best way to pay tribute to Brody Lee? Well, they used his catchphrase.
Yeah.
Like they're doing that some more. So I think that's a good way.
Maggie here on Twitch is asking, is Kyle injured? Saw that on the Rubber Mill. I don't know.
So I'm pretty sure that was a thing last night. I'm pretty sure I saw he tweeted out this morning
that something about not being broken or not. He wasn't broken like he broke Finn.
Correct. Yeah, he says breaking, not broken, but Canadian man is said to be extremely pissed off. Canadian man, what's that joke?
Well, he's from Canada, Kyle O'Reilly.
Oh, okay, there you go. Yeah, that kick. Yeah, and then he tweeted out a picture the GIF of that kick he gave to Finn, where he fell out of the ring himself, which is just great.
Oh, that was great.
Such an awesome.
That was
moment.
great.
It really was. Boy, that was a good match.
It was fun.
Gregory Fiala, any chance Kross or Scarlett could be a surprise NXT Royal Rumble entrant? Did they have NXT entrants last year? I don't recall if they did.
Mm-hmm,
they did? Who was in it last year?
Matt Riddle hadn't gotten called up when he was in the Rumble last year.
You're right.
I don't think.
Is that true?
And then Baron eliminated him like almost immediately.
Oh yeah. Keith Lee. Had he been called up yet? I don't think he had been called up yet.
Nope.
Keith Lee, that's right. He had that awesome
He wasn't called
moment.
up until August.
He had that great moment with Lesnar last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess it's possible.
Yeah. It's entirely possible. The only reason they might not is kind of like the same reason they canceled Raw Underground, is because they don't want the NXT and main roster talents intermingling just because of COVID issues.
Plus, it sucked. Andrew Jocelyn, I loved Gran Metalik versus Escobar, and it made me miss watching the Cruiserweight Classic. Do you think we'll ever get another one?
Oh, that'd be great.
I would love one. But one of the problems with that is, if the point is, kind of like the Mae Young Classic, if the point is to go out and get a ton of talent from outside the WWE, there's less and less of that. I mean, I'm sure they could. There's probably plenty to choose from.
Especially right now where most of the indies aren't running shows.
Mm-hmm. It'd be a good time.
Yeah. White Brownie, power rank, who will be the final 4 women's Dusty Classic matches? So who the last 2 teams, or last 4 teams? Sorry, last 4 teams.
I mean, you still got to put Raquel and Dakota Kai together.
Kai,
that's a natural fit.
Yeah. Let's see.
Candice and Indy, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah, they should make it to the finals.
Shotzi and...
Let's see here. Shotzi and...
Maybe Ember Moon.
Yeah, I was about to say Ember Moon.
Ember Moon. Tony.
Caden Carter and Casey Catanzaro.
The natural. What about Tony?
They have to be in it.
And... I don't know, Tony Storm and somebody.
Yeah.
Why am I coming up blank on like another heel?
Because I would assume that both Mercedes and Io would not be involved, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I mean they could put Io in there, but
because then you could have like Tony and Mercedes Martinez. That'd be a good team.
Ricky Scurvy says, so whomever wins gets a shot at the women's tag titles, right? It should be that.
It should be that.
It should be.
Yeah, Twitch is having some issues.
Is it Twitch in total? Because I thought I saw Ricky say that he was having a problem with like Twitch on a grand scale.
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, because
right. Yeah,
like the our whole page here will just go down for me here. I'm trying to monitor stuff. So.
Oh wow. The Rain Trigger says, is Austin Theory the perfect henchman? He's big enough to kind of be a heater, but not smart enough to take over, as it seems. Yeah, kind of. He's great. His new sort of Dirk Diggler guy is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, he's
really
found something that really works for him.
He has. No, he totally has, and it's awesome. That's a good point. Night by Night here says Tony and Rhea would have been amazing as a face team. Did you say you're having problems reading the Twitch chat?
It'll come up, but then I don't know if there's like something more. I don't know. Sometimes I'll especially when I click away from the Twitch page that I'm on. When I click back to it, it'll be gone.
Do you want to
like an error occurred?
Do you want to go to the Patreon? Because I have Twitch chat seemingly okay here via Streamlabs, but
okay. Yeah, I can go to Patreon.
Okay. Night by Night, if you can give any NXT superstar a signature hot pocket, who would it be and what would be in their hot pocket? It'd be the colossal hot pocket where you take Bronson Reed, all the different hot pocket recipes. I think they've got like breakfast hot pockets. Of course, they have the pizza ones. They've got like the barbecue chicken one. You put them all in one colossal hot pocket. Mm-hmm. It'd be disgusting.
See, I'd do something similar and call it the Doomsday Hot Pocket. And it's Karrion Kross
It'd be
branded.
the most bland. It'd be a hot pocket, but there'd just be more hot pocket crust inside.
Yeah, just be like a hot pocket crustception.
Exactly.
And just in the very middle, there'd just be a tiny little morsel of. It'd be like a meatball in the very middle. Wolfpack for life. What are matches or feuds you want in 2021? Any brand? Let's stick to NXT since that's what we're talking about here.
I want a feud between Adam Cole and somebody of consequence. Adam Cole and you know what? Adam Cole and maybe they can spin this out of the Dusty Classic. Adam Cole and Johnny Gargano. Well, he's the North American champion, so maybe that'd be Kyle O'Reilly and Johnny Gargano.
Yeah,
Adam Cole and Austin Theory. That's what I want.
That's what you want to see. Okay,
yeah, that's what
they had a match. They had a match.
Yeah, but the new Austin Theory.
All right, Moses. Who do you want to take the NXT Championship from Finn, and who do you think it will be? It will be Karrion Kross, but who do you want it to be? Well, the other team they announced for the Dusty Classic, it was Kurt Stallion and August Gray.
Oh, I didn't see that. Okay.
Yeah, cool. that just occurred to me.
I'd want it to be, I know I talked a little bit of shit about his, impromptu interview, but everybody has a bad day. I'd want it to be Bronson Reed. There's nobody else that hasn't really been, Thatcher, they haven't really established him as being like a big match winner guy. Mm-hmm. Ciampa's been done. Adam Cole's been done. Kyle O'Reilly's had his chances. Damian Priest is gone. It's for me, it'd be Bronson Reed. You'd have him come up kind of the same way that Keith Lee did, Jake
KUSHIDA.
Atlas and Swerve were also announced. That's cool. Oh, KUSHIDA. That's a good name.
KUSHIDA. I'll say KUSHIDA.
That's a good name.
I mean, they haven't really done much with KUSHIDA since he signed. Mm-hmm. But, dude's awesome. Put him in a couple good programs. Give him some solid wins.
You know what I'd actually be cool with?
Oh, no. Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne's my answer.
Okay. I'd actually be okay if Gargano, if they booked it really well, with a really cool story, if Gargano dropped the North American title and then like immediately turned around somehow, maybe even in like the same show in some way, shape, or form, I don't know, picked up the NXT title on the same show that Candice picks up the women's title, and then you have your real, power couple.
The way.
The way, yeah.
Colin Branch, is Raquel taking the title from Io? Should there be a secondary women's title because the women's division is stacked?
I would not be
actually. Sorry, go ahead.
Wouldn't be opposed to it.
To secondary women's title?
Yeah.
I'm happy. It looks like they're taking their time building Raquel. I think that's the smart move.
Yeah.
Because it seems like Io is getting to the feud with Mercedes Martinez. Guessing Io will come out of that on the winning end.
Mm-hmm.
And if they wait till
like summertime,
like Mania weekend at the soonest, have Raquel get that title then.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think great.
Alex Foster, what types of events should Dexter Lumis host? Alex says the next Friendo Fest.
That'd be great. That'd be great. That'd be awesome. Do a shoot interview with him where he just sort of looks around.
There we go. You just point and draw pictures.
He has like an iPad. We ask him, "Hey, who do you not like?" And then he pulls up, and it's like a picture of Jackson Riker from his TNA days because they were both in TNA, I think, around the same time. And he just does this.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, shoot heat, huh? And then he pulls up a GIF of fire. Wow, it's hot heat.
Hot heat. A lot of heat there. Christopher Rampersad. Undisputed Era should break up now to freshen up storylines in NXT, and I think Undisputed Era should only be in NXT. Be in the NXT, so then they go to the main roster and fail. What are your thoughts?
Oh, don't do the "what are your thoughts" question, Christopher. Come on now. People do that. They'll just lay out their own fantasy book situations and say, "What are your thoughts?" I'm joking. I love Christopher.
That's great.
Yeah, I miss Christopher on match. We got to do a match chat soon.
We should do a match chat. We'll do it not this weekend, but next weekend. How about that?
We got to do like 2 this month because we missed one.
We will. We'll do one middle of the month and then right after the Rumble.
Cool. Right on. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know about breaking up the Undisputed Era. Give me a good story and I'm cool with it, but it has to feel like a big deal. It has to feel like a massive deal.
Yeah, it has to feel pretty weighty.
It can't just be done.
Yeah.
So unless you have like a really cool idea, then my thoughts are no. This is a great question. I'm just trying to do something. Says, who would you like to see in the first women's fight pit?
Mercedes Martinez.
Oh, yeah. Good answer.
Yeah, at this point, Raquel.
Oh, yeah, Raquel.
Xia would be a good answer, or Raquel Gonzalez.
I was going to say Xia. Trying to think who's like, Mercedes is a great answer because she has that sort of shoot style wrestler thing going. I'm trying to think who else has that sort of vibe about them. I keep on coming with blank on everybody. How great was that spot when Shotzi went through KUSHIDA's legs and almost killed herself
Suicide
again?
dive. Yeah.
Good Lord. She is something else. Anyways. I don't see any more questions here on the Twitch, but we'll stick around and hang out for a moment. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We appreciate it. Till next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.
Help support Going In Raw today by becoming a Friendo Club TV member. You'll get access to new bonus episodes every week, including Friendo Club Arcade, Live Power Rank, Vintage 10 for the Wins, and Ask Steven Larson. Get access to Friendo Club TV today by becoming a $5 and up patron at patreon.com/Steven Larson, by throwing us a sub at twitch.tv/Steven Larson, or by clicking join at youtube.com/Steven Larson.